Picture this. You're in a relationship, or maybe you're just getting to know someone. Things are going well, conversations flow. There's chemistry, a spark. But then, something shifts. Maybe it's a slow fade, or maybe it's sudden, but you start to lose interest. You pull back. Your texts get shorter. You're less engaged. You're not chasing anymore. And then, you notice her reaction. It's like a mirror reflecting something deeper, something about her, about you, about the human condition. This is where Stoic power comes in. Today, we're diving into what happens when you lose interest, how she might react, and how Stoicism, the ancient philosophy of inner strength and emotional mastery, can guide you through it. This isn't just about relationships. It's about understanding human behavior, mastering your emotions, and wielding the power of self-control. Because when you step back, when you stop chasing, you reveal not just her true colors, but your own strength. So, let's unpack this. Let's explore why she reacts the way she does, what it means, and how Stoic wisdom can transform the way you navigate these moments. Ready? Let's begin. First, let's talk about why you lose interest. It's not always a conscious choice. Sometimes it's a gut feeling, a subtle realization that something isn't aligning. Maybe the connection feels forced, or the spark you thought was there starts to flicker. Maybe you've grown, and what once excited you no longer does. Or maybe, just maybe, you're starting to see things through a Stoic lens. You're questioning whether this pursuit aligns with your values, your purpose, your inner peace. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what's within our control. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. When you lose interest, it's often your mind signaling that something external, her behavior, the dynamic, the relationship isn't worth your emotional investment. And that's okay. Losing interest doesn't make you cold or detached. It's a natural response to prioritizing your own growth. But why does this happen? Let's break it down. Sometimes it's about mismatched values. You might realize her goals don't align with yours. Maybe she's chasing status while you're seeking meaning. Or it could be emotional unavailability. If she's playing games, keeping you at arm's length, or not reciprocating your energy, your subconscious picks up on it. You start to pull back because, deep down, you know your worth. Another reason? Self-discovery. As you grow, you start to see relationships as a reflection of your inner state. If you're practicing Stoicism, focusing on virtue, self-discipline, and emotional resilience, you might find that certain connections no longer serve you. You're not losing interest because you're fickle. You're losing interest because you're becoming more attuned to what matters. And let's not ignore the role of attraction. Sometimes it's biological. The initial rush of dopamine fades, and what's left is the reality of who she is. If that reality doesn't inspire you, your interest wanes. Stoicism doesn't dismiss these human instincts. It encourages you to observe them without being ruled by them. Epictetus said, "It is not things themselves that disturb men, but their judgments about them." Your loss of interest isn't the problem, it's how you handle it that defines your character. So, when you lose interest, it's not just about her. It's about you, your values, your growth, your clarity. And when you step back, you create space for her to reveal herself. That's where the real story begins. Now, let's talk about her reaction. When you lose interest, you're essentially changing the dynamic. You're no longer the pursuer, the initiator, the one pouring energy into the connection. And that shift? It's like throwing a stone into a still pond. The ripples reveal a lot about her character, her emotional maturity, and her intentions. There are a few common ways women, or anyone, really react when they sense you're pulling back. Let's explore these patterns through a Stoic lens, because understanding them isn't about judgment, it's about clarity. The chase intensifies. For some, your withdrawal sparks a chase. Suddenly, she's texting more, calling more, trying to pull you back in. This isn't always about genuine connection. Sometimes it's about ego. When you stop giving her attention, she might feel a void, not necessarily because she values you, but because she values the validation you provided. Stoicism helps us see this clearly. Seneca wrote, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." Her intensified efforts might seem flattering, but don't let them cloud your judgment. Ask yourself, is she chasing you? Or is she chasing the feeling of being wanted? A Stoic doesn't get swept away by flattery. They seek truth. If her chase feels manipulative, like she's using charm or guilt to reel you back in, pause. Reflect. A Stoic remains unmoved by external tactics, focusing instead on what aligns with reason and virtue. If her pursuit feels genuine, that's different. But even then, don't let her reaction sway you unless it aligns with your deeper purpose. 2. Emotional withdrawal. On the flip side, some women pull back when you lose interest. They mirror your distance, becoming cold, aloof, or even dismissive. This can be a defense mechanism, a way to protect their ego or avoid vulnerability. It's human nature to shield ourselves from rejection, but this reaction can reveal insecurity or a lack of emotional resilience. From a Stoic perspective, this is a chance to practice empathy without attachment. Epictetus reminds us, what need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears. Her withdrawal isn't your fault, nor is it your responsibility to fix. Instead, observe it. Is she retreating because she's hurt, or because she's trying to punish you? Either way, your Stoic power lies in staying centered, not reacting impulsively, not chasing her to ease her discomfort, but holding your ground with calm clarity. 3. Confrontation or blame. Sometimes, a woman might confront you directly. She might ask, "What's wrong?" or accuse you of being distant, cold, or unfair. This can range from a healthy desire for communication to an attempt to shift blame. If her confrontation is aggressive or manipulative, it's a red flag. It suggests she's more focused on controlling the narrative than understanding the truth. Stoicism teaches us to respond, not react. Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. If she confronts you, don't get defensive. Speak your truth calmly, without malice. If you've lost interest because the connection doesn't align with your values, say so with kindness but firmness." A Stoic doesn't shy away from hard conversations, but they don't let emotions hijack their reason. 4. Growth and reflection. In rare cases, your loss of interest might prompt her to reflect and grow. She might take a step back, assess her own behavior, and come back with greater self-awareness. This is the healthiest reaction, but it's not common. It requires emotional maturity and a willingness to face uncomfortable truths, qualities that align with Stoic virtues. If she responds this way, it's a sign of mutual respect. A Stoic values such connections, not because they're romantic, but because they reflect a shared commitment to growth. As Seneca said, associate with people who are likely to improve you. If her reaction shows strength and self-awareness, it's worth considering whether the connection can be rebuilt on a stronger foundation. The Stoic lens. No matter how she reacts, Stoicism reminds us to focus on what we control: our thoughts, our actions, our integrity. Her reaction is her own. You can't control whether she chases, withdraws, or confronts you. But you can control how you respond, with clarity, with dignity, with purpose. That's Stoic Power Revealed. So, she's reacted. Maybe she's chasing you. Maybe she's pulling away. Maybe she's throwing accusations. Now what? This is where Stoic power truly shines. Because the real test isn't her reaction, it's how you handle it. Let's break down how to apply Stoic principles to navigate this moment with strength and wisdom. 1. Accept what you cannot control. The first Stoic lesson is acceptance. Epictetus said, "There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will." You can't control her feelings, her actions, or her words. If she's chasing you for validation, that's her choice. If she's withdrawing to protect herself, that's her path. If she's blaming you, that's her perspective. Stoicism isn't about being cold or detached. It's about acting with virtue, wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. If you've lost interest, there's no need to ghost or play games. That's not Stoic. Instead, communicate with honesty and respect. If the relationship no longer serves you, say so kindly but firmly. If she's open to a real conversation, engage with clarity and empathy. Courage comes in here too. It takes courage to walk away from a connection that doesn't align with your values, especially if she's trying to pull you back in. But a Stoic knows that true strength lies in staying true to your principles, even when it's uncomfortable. 4. Embrace detachment. Detach doesn't mean you stop caring, it means you stop clinging. You stop tying your worth to her approval, her attention, or her reaction. Seneca said, "The greatest wealth is to live content with little." In relationships, this means finding contentment within yourself, not in someone else's validation. When you lose interest, detachment allows you to step back without guilt or fear. You're not abandoning her, you're choosing yourself. You're choosing to invest your energy in what aligns with your purpose, whether that's personal growth, meaningful work, or healthier connections. 5. Reflect and grow. Every interaction is a chance to learn. When she reacts to your loss of interest, ask yourself, what does this reveal about her? About me? About the kind of connections I want in my life? Stoicism encourages constant self-reflection, not to dwell on the past, but to grow stronger for the future. Maybe her reaction showed you the kind of energy you don't want in your life. Maybe it highlighted your own tendencies to seek validation or avoid conflict. Whatever the lesson, embrace it. As Marcus Aurelius said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Why does all this matter? Why bring Stoicism into something as messy and human as relationships? Because relationships, romantic or otherwise, are where our character is tested. They're where our emotions run high, where our insecurities surface, where our values are put under a microscope. And Stoicism gives us the tools to navigate this terrain with clarity and strength. The power of self-mastery. When you lose interest and she reacts, the real battle is within you. Will you let her reaction pull you into drama, guilt, or confusion? Or will you stand firm in your truth, guided by reason and virtue? Stoic power is about self-mastery, controlling your emotions, your actions, your choices. It's about being the calm in the storm, even when her reaction tries to pull you into chaos. Self-mastery doesn't mean suppressing your feelings. It means understanding them, channeling them, and acting in a way that aligns with your highest self. When you lose interest, you're not just stepping back from her, you're stepping into your own power. Relationships as a mirror. Reaction to your loss of interest is a mirror. It reflects her emotional maturity, her insecurities, her values. But it also reflects you. Did you lose interest because you're growing, or because you're running from discomfort? Are you acting with integrity, or are you playing games to avoid confrontation? Stoicism teaches us to use every experience as a chance to grow. Her reaction isn't just about her, it's a chance to see yourself more clearly. To ask, am I living in alignment with my values? Am I choosing connections that uplift me? Am I practicing courage, wisdom, and justice? The freedom of letting go. Of the greatest gifts of Stoicism is the freedom to let go. When you lose interest, you're not obligated to stay. You're not obligated to fix her, to chase her, or to feel guilty. You're free to walk away, not out of cruelty, but out of respect for your own path. This freedom is liberating, but it's not easy. It requires discipline to resist the pull of guilt, validation, or societal pressure. It requires courage to face the discomfort of her reaction. But when you embrace this freedom, you reclaim your power. You become unshakable. 5. Practical Stoic tools for navigating this moment. So, how do you actually apply Stoic power when you lose interest and she reacts? Here are 5 practical tools, rooted in Stoic philosophy, to guide you through this moment with clarity and strength. 1. Practice negative visualization. Negative visualization, or premeditatio malorum, is a Stoic practice of imagining the worst-case scenario. Before you pull back, ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? Maybe she'll get angry, maybe she'll ghost you, maybe she'll try to guilt you. By preparing for these outcomes, you strip them of their power. You're not caught off guard. You're ready to respond with calm reason. 2. Journal your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius wrote his meditations as a way to reflect on his own mind. When you lose interest, journal about it. Why are you pulling back? What does her reaction reveal? What do you want from this connection? Writing clarifies your thoughts, helping you stay grounded in reason rather than emotion. 3. Set boundaries with kindness. If she reacts by chasing or confronting you, set clear boundaries. A Stoic doesn't ghost or manipulate, they communicate. Say, I've realized this connection isn't aligning with where I'm at right now. I wish you the best. It's honest, it's kind, it's firm. You're not responsible for her feelings, but you are responsible for your integrity. Tool 4. Focus on what you control. When her reaction stirs up emotions, return to Epictetus. Some things are in our control and others not. You control your words, your actions, your mindset. You don't control her response, her feelings, or her choices. Let go of the need to fix her reaction and focus on acting with virtue. 5. Cultivate inner peace. Finally, practice ataraxia, the Stoic ideal of inner tranquility. Meditate, breathe, or simply sit in silence. Remind yourself that your worth doesn't depend on her reaction. Your peace comes from within, not from external validation. When you cultivate this inner calm, her reaction loses its power over you. When you lose interest, you're not just changing the dynamic, you're stepping into your stoic power. Her reaction, whether it's chasing, withdrawing, or confronting, is a window into her character and a mirror for your own growth. But the real victory lies in how you respond. By embracing stoic principles, accepting what you can't control, examining your judgments, acting with virtue, and cultivating inner peace, you become unshakable. Relationships are messy, human, and beautiful. They test us, challenge us, and reveal us. But with stoic power, you can navigate them with clarity, strength, and purpose. You don't need to chase validation or fear her reaction. You don't need to cling to a connection that no longer serves you. You have the power to choose yourself, to walk your path, to live in alignment with your values. So, the next time you lose interest, don't fear the shift. Embrace it. Let her reaction unfold, and let it teach you. But above all, let it remind you of your own strength. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength,